Warrington Wolves. They're Matt Whitley and Danny Walker from the Widnes Vikings. A couple of names that jump out to me a little bit there. I think Matty Lees obviously has forced his way in with his aggressive performances along the way.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased for Toby King as well, because I think he's been really good and is deserving his place in that Warrington side ahead of old Mr. Premature Celebration. And I think this is a compliment to that. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with for those guys. Is there anything in this squad that frustrates you, or you're not too pleased with?
Jack Walker, I'm sort of wondering, has he played too much rugby? Would he be better off having a proper pre-season under his belt where he can get some proper strength and conditioning under him, which might make him more resilient? Liam Sutcliffe's an odd one.
Yeah, is it right picking a player we don't even know where his best position is, or is he a centre? Should we just say he's a centre now? And would he play in centre ahead of Ollie Gildart, ahead of Toby King, ahead of potentially Greg Minikin? I don't know. Yeah,
it's a slightly odd one for me. I think the wire ones are all ones I agree with. Matt Whitley, not 100% bought on.
Okay.
I mean, he's been better, but he's been playing for Widnes. So how much of that can you take as a real guide?
There's a bit of criticism about some of the players obviously being eligible for other nations that have been picked. I think Robbie Mulhern, is he?
Yeah.
An Ireland potential?
I think so. It's interesting with Ireland, of course, because now effectively they're not eligible because Ireland have said they're having this selection policy where we're going to pick majority domestic players. Therefore, are they still eligible effectively? Can you blame them in that respect? I think if they were for the other nations, then I think it's more of a question. But I think if it's Ireland, given that they've said that they won't be considered, you've got to give them an international future of some description.
Yeah, is there anyone you think maybe deserve to be in that isn't in there? There's a few names that were in the squad announced in the early part of the year that haven't made it. For example, Matthew Matongo is one that was in my mind from Hull FC, and I'm not surprised he hasn't made it on his end of season form. In fact, I'm surprised that Brad has. And there was a couple of other Wigan players in there. Ryan Sutton was one who I'm a little bit surprised hasn't made this squad.
Yeah, he's one I'd quite like to have taken. Actually, just looking at it again, Dean Hadley's an slightly odd one.
I think you need a mix of good professionals that are a bit more senior. So you've got people like Holmes, Hadley, Shaw, and Hughes, who I suppose will be, and Sam Powell, who I suppose will be seen as like the standard bearers for the group, the kind of the people who set the culture. And so it's sensible to have a group like that within there. And it's a group who could, in my opinion, play at the top level if really required, if we got thin. So
yeah, and I think that's what you want, is you want it to be that next level down, that they're doing roughly similar systems and play, so that they're able to slot in as easily as possible, and they're used to being in that environment as much as you can. James Cunningham, I think, is a shame that obviously he is injured, so can't take part, but I think he would well have been in with a decent shout of making this squad.
I think what would have held him back is Sam Powell's reversion to hooker for
being a hooker,
Wigan, and that being a nailed-on opportunity for him to sort of be in there, because I can't see really other than Danny Walker, who's really challenging him for that position. Cruz Lehman,
Cruz
Lehman, of course. But then we're knocking into what we could get out of Swaziland Rugby League and out of Poland Rugby League as well, aren't we, with some of these selections? Anyway, let's move on to the England women's squad that's been announced.
Forget, Mikola Lechki played in the under-19 grand final, didn't he?
He did.
He dropped down for that one, so it's quite a thing to go from under-19 grand final one week to a week later being named in that squad.
Yeah, but I think Leeds wanted to have a couple of their hard hitters in that game and still came up short.
Yeah.
England's women.
Yes, England women's head coach Craig Richards has named 10 uncapped players in his 20-player squad to face France in Carcassonne on Saturday, October the 27th. Carcassonne. All 4 Women's Super League semi-finalists have representatives in the side. St Helens lead the way with 6, Cass Tigers have 5, Leeds have 4, and Wigan Warriors have 2 players named. Bradford Bulls have 2 players, and Andrea Dobson has been selected from Featherstone Rovers.
Your mate?
So I wouldn't quite go that far. In any other sport, she would have got a ban for those comments. And probably wouldn't be included in the next England squad. There we go.
She was the captain of England. I don't know if she still will be the captain of England.
You'd hope not. But
yeah. But who makes up the squad?
Yeah, so Amy Hardcastle of Bradford Bulls, who's got 16 caps. Amy Johnson from the Leeds Rhinos, and she has no caps so far. Andrea Dobson, who's from Featherstone Rovers, 23 caps. Caitlin Beavers of the Leeds Rhinos, and she's got no caps. Danielle Anderson, also a debutant from Leeds. Emily Rogers, St Helens, who's got 19 caps. Faye Gaskin of St Helens makes the squad. She's got 6 caps. I've lost my line here. Georgia Roach from Castleford Tigers, got no caps. Jodie Cunningham from St Helens gets 18 caps. Casey Gentles from Cass has her debut as well. She's got no caps. Naomi Williams from St Helens, also debutant. Rebecca Greenfield making her debut from the Wigan Warriors. I just knew you were going to get involved there at some point. Rhiannon Marshall, who's from Leeds Rhinos, she's got 1 caps. Shona Hoyle from Bradford, she's got 6 caps. Sinead Peach from Castleford Tigers has got 2 caps. Tara Jones has from St Helens has got 3 caps. Tara Jane Stanley of Cass, 8 caps. Tasmin Renouf from Castleford Tigers, no caps. Vanessa Temple of Wigan, no caps. And Vicky Whitfield from St Helens, who also has no caps. Any names that stick out for you as not being included in that one, Mark?
Well, I make it 10 potential debutants, so I think that's why some of the people like Andrea Dobson maybe have stuck around. Amy Hardcastle, who's had a tough season at Bradford, but we know what she can do for England as well. Faye Gaskin picked up a knock during the game this weekend, and it looked like she would be out of this international season, and then she miraculously was able to come back on for the last 15 or so and kind of inspired Saints to an almost comeback against Wigan. So it's good to see, hopefully, if she can stay in this squad and is fit enough to play. In terms of missing out, I'm not sure who is and isn't England qualified, but I just assume all the players in the Women's Super League are England qualified. And on that basis,
apart from Mrs. Murdoch Masilla.
Oh yeah, of course. She got injured actually yesterday as well. Roxy Mura. The 2 names that stand out for me from all season that aren't on the list is Katie Hepworth from the Castleford Tigers and Rachel Thompson from the Wigan Warriors. And from what I've seen of both of them, I'm really shocked that neither of them have got in. And from Bradford as well. She's retired, hasn't she? Never mind. There was a Bradford player who's retired. So.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. The one for me would be Charlotte Booth from Leeds, but I don't know if she's injured or not, because I think she had been out for a couple of weeks.
You've also got
injury-wise.
Charlotte Booth is a fullback, isn't she?
Fullback or centre?
Yeah, and you look at this side, and I mean they must be happy with what they're picking at centre, because I think the best centre in the competition this year has been Rachel Thompson, but I've seen a lot more of her than other sides. But still, and she's not in there. I suppose Amy Hardcastle's nailed on for one of those positions.
Jodie Cunningham will be in for that, I guess.
You would guess so. But those are the 2 that really stand out for me. But
sorry, my
I don't know if we should
1800 phone.
House phone, it must be his mum.
Hello? I think about 3 people have that number as well. So it's not one of them.
Right.
But,
I was just telling the listeners that I was guessing it was your mum because it was the house phone. But
no, I've got like a one of those like retro faux retro phones.
Okay.
So one of the big ones, but no, my mum always rings the mobile. Quite techno. Well, she does try and FaceTime a lot as well. When
accidentally.
She doesn't mean to, yeah.
the Charlotte Booth situation, that's the name, isn't it? No, that's the one I work with. No?
Charlotte Booth, yeah.
Her, anyway, who we were talking about. You've got to remember that Tara Jane Stanley, or Tara Stanley, as I thought she was just called, is the standout fullback in the competition, isn't she? And then behind her this year, I'd say Rebecca Greenfield, who probably will have to settle for a spot on the wing, but in the rep Lancashire side, Stanley played at fullback and Greenfield played on the wing, and Greenfield scored an important try in those games. So I think that's maybe where she's going to miss out from that particular point of view. There's Sophie Robinson as well, isn't there, from the Rhinos, who has been a bit of a
central
for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting make-up to that squad. I'm a little bit disappointed more of the Wigan players aren't in there, but I'm really pleased for the two that are. Vanessa Temple is really hard to put down in the tackle. She's a player who's come on a lot during this year. But yeah, I think maybe at Wigan, and I'm not sure if
is she a bit grubby, or is she a bit of a saint, Temple?
She's fine.
Oh, I didn't get that one.
No, it's something I'm missing.
Wasn't it Simon Temple? Wasn't he the saint?
Oh right, I've gone over my head that one, Timothy.
It's probably wrong, but there we go.
You've totally knocked me off what I was going to be saying, so let's move on. Salford have confirmed that Joey Lussick has signed a new 2-year deal with the club. Lussick arrived from NRL side Manly Sea Eagles ahead of the qualifiers, and he has helped the Red Devils to secure their Super League status for 2019. Jackson Hastings has signed a contract extension with Salford as well for the 2019 season. The 22-year-old joined the Red Devils at the end of July and has a huge impact on Ian Watson's side, scoring 5 tries in the qualifiers. In fact,
did you see the Jackson Hastings announcement? How they did it?
It was a video, wasn't it?
The proper gonna make you watch till the end video. He did it like he was gonna leave, and then look, X Factor style, he's staying. What a surprise!
I mean, I'm a bit from Wigan fan perspective, I'm a bit disappointed because I thought we would have snagged him, but I think obviously he wants to go back to the NRL. I thought Wigan might offer him that opportunity because you look at every side in the Super League and which side sends more players to the NRL than us. But obviously he's got a kinship with Salford, and I'm really pleased for them that they've got him for one more year. He'll be spending that entire year trying to organise a deal. Hopefully that won't distract him off the field. Carsten got in touch. He said very good signings for Salford. If they can get a good mix around those two, then Salford will have a strong side next season. Yeah, they need more depth, don't they?
Yeah. Speaking of Salford, Warrington have confirmed that the signing of Salford forward Lama Tassi on a 1-year deal.
Yeah. Catalan Dragons have signed St Helens scrum half Matty Smith on a 2-year deal. Who knew?
That's a shock. I mean,
who knew?
When was the last shock signing?
Well, Lama Tassi came out of nowhere to me, that one. I'd not even heard a rumbling of that. I didn't even know he was on the trade block. So
the last shock signing anyone gave a fuck about.
Well, maybe someone gives a fuck about this one that happened or was confirmed just over the weekend.
I mean, I'm quite pleased by it. I have to be honest. Yeah.
Huddersfield Giants have signed Bradford Bulls hooker Reece Moorworth for an undisclosed fee on a 3-year deal. The 19-year-old spent time on loan with the Championship side Batley Bulldogs this season. On loan at Batley from Castleford, Bradford. Who was on loan at from Bradford. Yeah. Or whatever. Anyway, he's going to be at Huddersfield next year, and last time they signed a hooker from Bradford, he hasn't turned out too bad for them at the moment. Some other not surprising news deals we knew.
Yep, saddle up because Hull KR have signed the Kindly Horse, Jimmy Kindhorst, Wella Haraki and Ryan Lannon for 2019. The German international Kindhorst and Salford Red Devils forward Ryan Lannon both join on 3-year deals, and Widnes Vikings back row Wella Haraki has penned a 2-year deal with the Rovers. Do you think it's because he comes from Widnes they just condition him to a 2-year deal straight away?
He never got a 2-year deal at Widnes, did he? He barely got a 2-month deal. But it's always like when there's a Jimmy Kindhorst story, and when I put the news together, I tend to try and copy and paste bits from our wonderful colleagues' websites at Love Rugby League or the BBC or Total RL or one of those, but mostly Love Rugby League. But I always look for whichever one refers to him as the German international because that is Jimmy Kindhorst bingo there.
Yeah.
Widnes have announced this is right. I'm going to go.
See also versatile.
I'm going to do all the Widnes, I think, in one go, Tim, because there's even more to add on today. Widnes have announced the departure of Franny Cummins and Eamon O'Carroll with immediate effect. Cummins was appointed